is, well, actually, before we start, maybe, did somebody have something that came in his head in the night, in the morning? Some question, comment? For example, Jeanette was raising the problem of what is the function? She raised a couple of things. One is about the antinomies. Jeanette, yes. And the other one is about the function of the group. The one about the antinomies, basically she's saying if the idea when there's a concept, and I ask for the contrary, if there's an official contrary. No, I mean there's no official contrary. Now, of course, if somebody tells you, asking what's the contrary of subjective? Well, you sort of expect subjective, but if somebody tells you something else, like reality, for example, well, let's see if it works. If it doesn't seem to work, I ask the person to give a contrary to the second term to work it out. Because when you give it a contrary to a term, it gives meaning to the initial. For example, yesterday, contrary of virginity, yes? Sexual attraction, that was interesting. But the idea is that for me, every concept has a contrary. Even sometimes it sounds strange. But then when you get the contrary, it gives meaning to the initial term. Yes? You know, because you see in the mind of the person. But that's what the person has to produce those contraries, because then they give meaning. Right? So that was one thing. The second thing is the use of the group. Now, it's again, there's a pragmatic concept that if somebody has an idea and nobody understands it, or nobody gets the point, or nobody thinks that works, well, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. Now, maybe in the absolute you're right, I don't know what, maybe it's a genial idea, but it doesn't work. That means the person that forwards this concept is not capable of giving meaning to that concept, so for the group it doesn't work. And I found that a very interesting challenge, because that means you cannot simply have an intuition, but it has truth has to be built. It's not a priori. You know, so if it speaks to no one, maybe you're the local genius, but your concept doesn't work. And that's what the idea of why the group, it's not a question of popularity. Because it's not a question of agree, not agree, but does it make sense? It doesn't make sense, right? So you have to do some work, so it makes sense to the group. And that's thinking, collective thinking, yes. So, did anybody have a question, a comment, something? Yes?
But still in that last example that you gave, why can't we see that as subjective truth?
What?
So I use a concept.
Talking about the antinomy problem or the collective problem? I talk about two things. What are you talking about?
The second one.
Okay. Yeah. So what is? I propose you want to ask it in the form of a question or in the form of an objection?
A question.
Okay. Ask the question.
Is can a concept that is not understood by anyone else be his or her own subjective truth?
Okay. His or her own subjective truth. Now, see, yesterday I explained that truth had different forms. Remember? Yes? The question and equation. Now, if you want to work the truth of a concept, it's interesting to work through it in different ways. You can check it out, see if for that person it functions, you know, as a subjective truth. You can question it to see if it fits reason. Yes? And you can question it, see if it fits with the other people. Now, maybe it fits as subjective truth, but nobody understands it. So there's a problem. Now, Einstein had that problem. Nobody, you know, I don't know, I think Einstein, you know, think this relativity thing makes no sense, but then after it makes sense. But the work of having it making sense is fundamental. It's not extraneous. It's not extrinsic. Extrinsic to the concept. I know that's very strange for, I know from France and the way we think it's very strange. But the idea of having a concept be meaningful to others, I think, in that context, it's part of giving truth to the concept. It's part of showing sufficiency. Yes? In other words, you have a work to do to make your concept function.
But when it's subjective truth, it can function for the person
Yes.
itself.
But you see, let me bring Hegel here in another way. For Hegel, if your concept cannot be objectified, it is not a concept. It is intuition. It is impression. It's not a concept. Because to be objectified means you can make it into something accessible to others. For example, a sculpture that says, oh, I have a great sculpture in my mind. Maybe, maybe not, who knows. But he has not confronted the matter, the earth, the stone, whatever, to give, to achieve, or let's think of Aristotle, Antelikeia. He has not materialized this concept, yes? Now, a concept being an abstract thing, not being thing, it's not people will see it, but you objectify it, so it's meaningful to human reason. Now, if it's so if it's so esoteric, so that it's not meaningful to human reason, then maybe there's something else, but there's a problem. You know? So a concept has to produce, has to be operative. If it speaks to no one besides yourself, do you agree there's a problem? Or no? If your concept is meaningless to other people, do you think there's a problem or not? Try to answer my question.
There is a problem. Yeah.
Okay, so that's all. Now, it doesn't say that there's not something genial in it, but there's a problem. And it's that problem I want someone to see. Otherwise, you get a philosopher speaking to himself, which, you know, if you know philosophers, that's a very classical thing. The guy who speaks to himself. And that's what the idea of challenge that says. And by the way, that's why there was so much the criticism about idealist philosophy, both by the pragmatists, who thought there was a problem with this, and even people like Marx, you know, as well from another standpoint, saying, look, you have a problem. You know, maybe you're the, you know, the genius of the century, but nobody understands you. Now, if one makes a stand and saying, I don't care, maybe. But he has to, you know, because some people say that's not the problem. So if he says it's not a problem, good, then you don't have to speak even to me, you know. You see? Now, if somebody says, the only truth for me is subjective truth, fine. But he has to be able to see at least the limits of such a position. But if that's your position, I'm only concerned if I understand myself, okay, fine. But then don't be surprised if people say, you know, this guy, you know, we don't understand, or something like that. That's you're into solipsism, you know. So any position is fine. It's just the same guy that says, well, a concept is only good if everybody understands it. There's another problem too. Because, for example, the Zen master, that's not his problem. He throws the thing and says, do what you can with it. Or Jesus, throwing the parable, says, and they say, why? They say, why don't you explain to us? And he says, well, who has ears, hears. Okay. You know? But you have to know what your position is and know what the limits. It's not forbidden to be a Zen master or to be Jesus or to be whatever. But you have to know the limits of that position, that's all. Wait. Did I answer your question?
Almost.
Almost. Well, let me ask you something. I want you to say yes or no on that one. Did I answer your question or no?
No.
You see? Not and not. Tell me what's coming behind the not. Come on.
Can I now? Because
not what? Give me the adverb behind. Not
completely.
Thank you. Not completely. Now, that's very nice. What is the frame of mind that somebody that says, I want to be answered completely. Who has an idea? What is his frame of mind? And ask somebody raising their hand and says, what is the frame of mind of this not completely? If two people want to do it, ask one of them.
I see only one.
Well, because you don't know how to look around. You see? You're too much in yourself. Learn to look around well. That's an art, to look around. And by the way, when you do workshop, that's the whole point. You have to be all over the place. So you have to get out of yourself and look around. Come on.
Isabel, can you tell me what my concept of you is when I say not completely?
For me, you have already an answer in your mind. Then you're waiting for something.
Therefore, what is his state of mind, is asking you. Quel est son état d'esprit? What is his state of mind? Of somebody saying,
unsatisfied.
He's unsatisfied.
Yes.
Are you unsatisfied?
Yes.
Good. Now this unsatisfaction, is it only today or is something you're very familiar with, to be unsatisfied?
I'm familiar with it.
Good. You see, and that's the point. Now you're projecting on us your existential position of being an unsatisfied person, and we are supposed to take charge of your unsatisfaction, but we are not your, I don't know, your mother, your friend, your whatever. We cannot. And that's the point of this solipsism. Somebody comes and says, please satisfy me. So you show him, oh no, I want some more. Yes? Isn't that beautiful?
Oliver Twist.
Do you see the point? Yes. And that's why it's so important to say, when I say something, what is my state of mind? So you objectify yourself, you say, yes? Nice?
Nice.
Okay. But there's another one. You want to ask him too or no? I know, but, this word but, just say. Is that the word you like, but?
I don't recall that I said that.
Well, let me tell you something. Somebody who's unsatisfied, is but a common word in his mouth?
Yes.
Okay, that's all. Yeah? But you never were conscious of it. Now, maybe now, watch how many times you say but in one day. You might be surprised.
Try.
You like that? Yeah, okay. So, do you want to know his analysis? Or no? You're enough?
I'm finished.
You're finished. Okay, no. Okay. Okay. And by the way, now, one can take that in, but I think if you, for example, do a workshop with someone, suppose, or do consultation, if you project your unsatisfaction on the other one, you won't be clear. Because you'll always want something more for your own reason, but maybe the person in front of you has done what he can and has done that. But you say, give me more, and the problem is you project your own desires. You have the right, by the way, be unsatisfied. Why not? Right? It's a position like any other. But the limit is, when is it that I'm projecting my unsatisfaction about others, and others are not there to satisfy my desires, Maybe you want the, eternal life, and for an example. But the others, that's not their purpose of existence, and therefore, you see them through this prism, So if you're unsatisfied, you have a right, but you say, okay, wait a minute. This person gave me that. Did he answer my question? Did he not? And by the way, that's a very tough thing to judgment to make. When you have, like I say, you do a consultation, right? You ask a question to someone, and you have to be able to judge. Did that person answer me or not? Now, if I'm an unsatisfied person, I always say, no. And the person in front says, what's the matter with this guy? I keep answering every time he's not satisfied, So you have to be able to tell the person, okay, we've done the job, Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So, any other question? Yeah? Are you unsatisfied again?
Now, can I explain what happened to me just now?
Is it necessary?
I think it's nice to hear.
No, I'm not saying if it's nice. You think, is it necessary?
It's not necessary.
Then don't do it. Is that okay with you? It's just so you get reconciliated with your own frustration. Is that okay? You like the idea to reconciliate with your frustration? We live in an imperfect world, and you're going to learn. Do you know why Lucifer is in hell?
Sorry.
Do you know why Lucifer?
Lucifer, you can.
In Holland, you don't say Lucifer?
Okay.
You call him Lucifer in Holland? Yes, same thing? You know what? No? You know Lucifer? No?
I don't call the devil Lucifer.
Yes, but do some people, have you heard that name?
No.
Never.
Not that I recall, no.
Not you recall, yes. Is that possible? You never heard that word? It's possible. Really? Okay. Okay, but you never heard the word Lucifer, okay?
I've heard it.
Oh, you've heard it. But you don't like that name. You prefer another name.
In my opinion, it meant something else.
It meant something else than what?
Than a devil.
Oh, who's Lucifer then?
It's not a rule.
What is it?
A stick to light and or.
It's what?
It's a match.
It's a match. Lucifer is a match. Name for a match. Okay, no problem. And so it sells well. You sell it.
I don't think it sells well.
But it sells.
You can sell it.
Okay, so we know we're in Holland, right? Everything can be sold, right? Okay, so. But anyway, but let me tell you a little story, which one of my favorite one story. Lucifer, you see, his name, Lucifer, is in Latin, Lux Feliz, the bearer of light. Bearer of light? Understand that? Now, see, he was the most beautiful angel of God. Yeah? And one day, God did this crazy thing for Lucifer. He made this man made of mud. You know, dirty, right? Mud. You walk dirty. You want to clean your shoes, right? Dirty. And God made this man made of mud. And God loved him. And Lucifer said, "What, God? What the hell are you doing? This thing made of mud, full of imperfection. When me, I'm the bearer of light, pure light. Why do you love this thing instead of loving me?" And God sent him to hell to be the why? Because he could not understand that imperfection is the object of love. Therefore, what it means? It means that to be able to reconcile with imperfection as the object of love. Why would you love something which is perfect? Strange?
Yes.
Now, do you love perfection more or imperfection more?
I think I indeed love imperfection more.
You love imperfection more. Then why you're never satisfied?
Yes.
You see the problem? If you love imperfection, ooh, imperfect. Oh, nice, happy. Yes? No buts. No. Yes? Okay. Now you have to know. You have the right, by the way, to love either imperfection or perfection. But you have to be conscious of it. Like Kant says, if you wear red glasses, just you have to know it. So you don't impose on people to say, "Hey, how come you're not blue? How come you're red?" You're not red, it's just you have red glasses. You like that?
Yeah.
Nice story, Lucifer?
Yes, nice.
Okay. Any other? Yeah, are you good now?
Yes, I'm.
Oh,
very
okay.
satisfied.
Yes. You're back in paradise.